And Capcom's all over the place.
Seriously.
And they brought a closer look at Onimusha, which we played last year. That demo is now basically a public demo.
Yeah.
So they got to put you in a little bit further in.
Fuck yeah.
I'm going to take a little research break while you guys take it away. You guys both got to play, right?
Yeah.
Well, not only did we play it, we saw a part that is later than what we played. So we've played an early part of the game, which is the demo that you can now play. We've seen a later part of the game, and then we've played this kind of like early to middle part of the game.
Yeah. I picked up, we're in a big open town area. Opened the map, and there was kind of objectives all over the place.
Yes, many objectives.
There's like real-time moments where, this character was falling off of a roof, and, Genma were attacking him. So, they saved him and then got items in return. So there's like these dynamic kind of live events, like the characters can die. I don't know how important those characters are. They feel like just stock NPCs that give you rewards and move away.
The names were man and woman.
Yeah.
On the two that I rescued.
Yeah, but then in this big chunk too, it was like, okay, find these missing statues. So we had to kind of scour the environment for them. There was waypoints and stuff, and if you like held L2 and R2, it would kind of bring up like a Dead Space style.
I forgot how to do that, so I was just kind of wondering.
Yeah. So you would find these statues, and then you're fighting enemies throughout, and it all culminated with a really good boss fight.
It was a crazy fight.
Extremely good boss fight. This guy was nuts. It was challenging because you want to mash it out. You're like, you gotta chip away at this thing, fight.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're mid slice, it takes a second to bring your block / parry back up.
Or dodge.
Even. So there were so many times when I overcommitted to attacking and got punished.
I would get grabbed a lot because like
nonstop.
Like, well, and also like there was a weird thing they had activated for this demo, which I get why they did it, and I kind of appreciated it because it's hard to jump into a game like this with fairly complicated controls in a demo setting where you have like 45 to 60 minutes to learn an entire game's like timing and control scheme. So they had a little thing where it was like suggestions of which button prompts to use showing up on the enemies, and they said they could turn it off, and halfway through the demo I was like, should I turn these off? Like ask them to turn it off, because they were sort of weird because they would come up early. And so my brain, I'm like, my QTE-addled brain is like, oh, L1 is on the screen. I'll push L1. But it would be too early to push block, which is L1. So I would miss the block and get fucked over. And then it was also not reading the enemies, like their tells. So I was like, I had to like stop pushing the buttons when I saw the button prompts.
Right. Yeah. No, I've had that issue before, yeah.
But like that, they stressed that was just for the demo so that we would understand the controls easier, so that won't be there in the real game, and you're not seeing it, I don't think, in this footage. But like the one thing I will say about this game, and I was talking about it with a few other people like James Willems after the demo because he was in the same play session as me, it's way more deliberate than I expected it to be. Like, OG Onimusha is kind of like, at least in my memory, pretty frantic and fast.
A little bit.
You've played them more recently than I have.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't played them since I was 15.
It's definitely slower than that.
Okay. But, like, yeah, this game is like we were saying, you'll get punished if you're attacking too many times in a row, and you won't be able to dodge because you're still in a sword swing animation.
Yeah.
Which was fucking me up a little bit on the boss because, the boss, it would say circle, which is dodge, and I'd be like, okay, I'll dodge, but I was like still swinging, and then he would grab me and punch me 100 times in the stomach. I would say, especially on the heels of playing Control Resonant, which we talked about yesterday in our coverage, it's hard. This is a hard game to just jump into for me, at least. It was slower than I wanted it to be. Perhaps.
Nice. Yeah, I love the pace of it. I love the hard-hitting sword combos.
Yeah.
I love how like dynamic some of the moves he was doing, like those prompts would pop up and I would push like triangle for some reason because it told me to, and it was like the square is one hand, triangle's two hand.
Yeah.
So some of
Light,
those
heavy.
like counter moves were so crazy where it's like, whoa, how do you even do that? Like, I want to dive deeper into all of the mechanics because it seems like it is a little more layered than any of us were anticipating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course we got to use some of the big magical weapons, you know, the daggers, and the big spear as well. The spear is really good for AoE. Would go into an area, spin it all around. Everyone would like get weakened because you break their posture, and then you would do like kind of a, you know, multi takedown on enemies, which was so satisfying. Like all the takedowns are just really satisfying. And then the daggers were good for the boss because it would like, you know,
Yeah.
stagger him, give you some health.
When I beat it, it was the time I remembered to use that.
Yeah, for
The first two tries, I was like, just kind of trying to sword fight him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh wait, I can cut these tethers. That'll weaken him probably. And then I was like, oh yeah, I have a special move.
Yeah, this boss was so awesome. You had to really block and dodge and parry, but then he would do these range attacks where these tethers would come out and
Yeah.
you had to shoot the tethers
Yeah,
with
you
your
have a
bow
bow.
and arrow.
Oh, wow.
And things would then fall on him.
Yeah, if you shot the tethers.
Yeah.
If not, he would throw like a tree at you.
Yeah.
It really hurt.
Or like a giant roof. It was like,
Yeah.
whoa. So I really loved that boss fight.
It was cool.
I thought it was a nice payoff to kind of the slow burn exploration and combat against like lesser Genma enemies.
There was a lot more kind of exploration, and like the story was really cool. Like the villagers had kind of been like, they'd be like, yeah, my knee hurt, but now my knee doesn't hurt anymore because this Genma in this shrine helped me and solved my problem. Then you look down and he doesn't have a leg.
Yeah, just chopped it off.
And the like this one woman is like, I'm tired of playing this instrument for this rich family. I hate playing this instrument and practicing all the time. Please help me so I don't have to practice this thing. And the guy's like, well, if you didn't have fingers, you wouldn't have to play that thing. And then you watch him cut off her fingers.
Wow.
And then she's like, yay, thank you. I don't have to play anymore. And so it's like, obviously it's like bewitching everyone
Yeah.
into thinking that these things are good. So like fighting him had that cool story payoff. And there were other neat story. The story is a lot more like funny than I thought it would be. There's like
Yeah,
kind of
there's-
that whimsical
Yeah,
edge
there's
to
definitely a little
it.
lightheartedness there, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of back to something you said about the combat with like the finishers and like things like that. And I think this is probably just because it's a demo and I wasn't used to it or whatever. I would find myself sometimes I would do a heavy attack or a dodge, and then I'd be in some kind of crazy animation for a sec, which I generally don't prefer because I wanna do things intentionally and know why they're happening and when they're happening. And again, it's probably just because I'm not used to this combat system yet, but like there would definitely be some times where I would just suddenly be doing a crazy ass attack and I'm like, I just pushed square. Why is this happening? You know, I prefer button does thing. Generally, this is somewhere in between. I would say button does a thing like a Souls game or like Control Resonant, and a character action game where, you know, you press triangle and then you watch Ifrit fight a guy for 20 minutes. Sorry. I got my migraine glasses on. I'm real catty today. But no, this is cool. I would say I'm less excited about it than I was before.
This was also my game of the show.
Yeah.
So I'm on the other end.
Yeah, yeah.
Loved it.
Not because it was bad or anything, just because like the combat system, I was like, oh, this is kind of different than I was expecting. But
Yeah. Well,
I think it's really good. I think people are gonna love this game.
Yeah,
it's solid.
It's interesting because when I played the earlier demo, you know, they specifically were like, okay, get to the end of the demo, and
Yeah.
then once you've seen how it all works, then play it again because now you understand the mechanics better, right?
Right. It is a mechanics-heavy game.
And then similarly with this one, like they were, you know, not that anyone would actually have had the time. They're like, hey, play the public demo before you come and play this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you would already be acclimated to some of those mechanics.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
A couple of things I wanted to shout out. There was a phrase that I really liked: calcified malice.
Hell yeah.
You had to open up a gateway of calcified malice to get into a new area. That was cool.
Good.
And then they introduced a cool new enemy in the video that we saw, which looked like and sounded like a naked lady, kind of swimming around in this
siren vibe.
stream, like a siren vibe. And what's his name? Musashi.
Yeah.
They kind of stressed that Musashi is And I thought this was kind of an interesting
Really
development.
dim.
He's an incredible swordsman, but not very bright. Otherwise, like he didn't know how to use a boat at one point, and this woman is like, "You don't know how to use a boat?" And he's like, "I'm a swordsman," but he goes up to this naked lady swimming in the river, and he's just like, "Hey, it's not safe. Get out of there!" But it's like clearly a demon. But then it was a fun reveal because that enemy is actually the top of its head. It's got like an alligator-shaped head, but the top of its head looks like a naked lady's torso. But then really it's this giant fish man, like alligator beast thing. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. This game looks sick. I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy. I just didn't expect it to be like so complicated mechanically.
I hope too that you in the video they played, they cleared some corrupted, calcified malice or whatever. Everybody was, all the villagers were like trapped in their house, so they come out. So I'm hoping it's like Onimusha 2 style, where you get like a little hub town, multiple areas, can walk around, get some quests, buy some things from the shops. Like I love that kind of stuff.
It seems like the main vibe, because the vibe of this part that we played was 3 of the statues of the 8 pillars had been taken, which was great because you can hear spirits talking. The statues would be like, "Oh, it's all dark. Why is it so dark? Where am I?" And then you're like, okay, so it's hidden in one of these baskets probably, and you like break a basket and it's like, okay, here it is, and it's like, oh, thank you, and then you return all the statues and they're like, we'll give you our power, you know. Yeah, so it seems like your vibe is going around and like helping people. So like that was the section we played. In the video they showed, we were helping a woman whose kabuki stage had been overwhelmed by malice. Cool. And so it seems like the vibe, you're going around helping the people.
Coming up soon.
Yeah.
September, right? Or October?
September.
I think it's in the September block.
September block. I want to say 25th.
I want to say 25th.
A day later.
Yeah, it's a day after the madness.
Crazy.